All right. So we had the makeup and such to hide them. Uh, yeah, you've seen that Coach is what he is. What do y'all do? Yeah, we can. Yeah, we'd be able to go to like the next day, or we'd be able to go still that evening, because I think that happened. The fight at the game was on. You're in September. I think this was we did what Labor Day weekend was what this one was. Yeah, I forgot to beating up that batting cage. Find out. Coach is a Fae. So I think that was over that weekend, and you have school the next day. Um, Ed, yep, Eddie and Lily. Yeah. Let me go. I'm gonna move that up. Oh, you said that in character. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yes. I'm going to explain what's going on in my family after school today. If you have any objections, text me. Wait, everything, everything? Yeah, they're chill. Ma- Maureen, the fuck? You're going to a psych ward from Rachel. They like already believe in Bigfoot. They go to conventions and everything. Big con. P- Big con? Bigfoot con. Bigfoot con. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, remember people just like across the way from each other. The difference is there is a big foot con, but those are two separate words. That's how people know the difference between Bigfoot con and Big Foot con. Yeah. Can I just the first one's yeah, the first one's a lot of fun. Can you not mention me so you know they're fine with it? I do not want your parents talking to mine. I'm not going to the psychiatrist with you. Yeah, no, I won't mention any of you unless you want me to stop. Like, unless you like want me to or something. It's a thing that only I am. Nobody else. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Do me a favor. We're gonna go ahead and reset your plot points, and I'm gonna get you something that is easier to see and to use. Um, deal two to Wyatt to Rachel to Dylan and Trevor. Okay. Oh, who do we? Oh, Lexa's not in Roll 20. Have any of you used Fantasy Grounds? Okay. I've been kind of poking around with it to see if there's certain things of it that might be for certain games might actually be a little more useful than Roll 20. But it's definitely like there's a little bit of a learning curve. Though they have an alien thing on there that's kind of neat. That someone has put together. It's not like perfect, but I think for certain things like the way it can kind of like pop up maps and stuff and like lets you bring some stuff up a little bit easier looks kind of neat. But it also looks like most of the games I run it wouldn't necessarily be that much different than in Roll 20. Yeah, Maureen can we. Okay. I wish that did spaces. Yeah, it's hard to tell they're there. Wait, that's why they attacked you? Red. Seen by. I think it'll do like a scene by because I know like Facebook. Yeah, Facebook Messenger will have like a scene by, and they'll have like everybody in chat. Yeah. Where are you hiding out someplace, or are you? He's kind of sus. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a cartoon. Yeah, it's still like in your shape. Brackets for what? Oh. Who is this Dan with one N? And sent dudes to beat the shit out of us. Showed the pizza place looking for Mr. Anderson's wallet the day this all went down, and sent dudes to beat the shit out of us. Makes you think, huh? Real stumper here. Allegedly. Wyatt saw them talk to coaches they were leaving. Dun dun. Yeah. This I don't, it's like the blue booking version of superhero games. I read about that. I'm like, well, that's one way to try to get actual like personal character growth, but then everyone basically is like writing short stories together. Yeah, go point a magic gun at him and blap. Mm-hmm. Yep. And they were asking why we're visiting Mr. Anderson. So they're definitely involved in the spooky face shit. Maureen, if we use our instrument on him, someone who isn't fed, what happened to them? Oh, Maureen, if he knows, he'll come after us. Um, yeah, it only works on someone who's a fetch. You better hope the FBI never goes and decides to look at your text history. Was three the one where they point the gun at their own head and fire? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, coach has had a uh, passed off a few things, and he had some meetings and such today. Um, he's in his office. He kind of looks and just like stops, looks up. His eyes narrow, and he just nods. Is this one where the camera pans back and the other four are like hidden behind a locker, just peeking out of the side? Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He sits down across the thing from you, looks very guarded at this point. He goes, "And what is it you wanted to talk to me about?" Always have always have time for some special students. Yes. Kind of takes a look at you. Are you trying to throw him off of his suspicion of that you're a persona user? Okay. Okay. Mm, okay. Well, well, it's well to be fair, coach was not meant to be like end level because for a couple reasons. One, you've already got the relationships with him, so if you can get into him, you can kind of get into his inner sanctum. And also, there are people above him, and then like that's when Garrett comes back. Is going to have to do a little bit with that. So coach, because coach is there all the time, was sort of seen as being like the first one after the intro. Yeah, yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, so he's kind of because at this point, um, he's definitely trying to probe you to see if you've kind of got more. Because so far, the stuff you've said doesn't necessarily tell him, I think, whether you're persona user or not. But the fact that, yeah, yeah, and so in some respects, on his side, he's a little confused because it's like, so yeah, he does sit back a little bit and kind of takes a look and goes, "Well, you betrayed your sister. Then when did uh, when did they become close with Rachel? I didn't think this was a friends group, really." What brought that group together? I know you and Rachel were never terribly close. Could it be that these are not particularly good friends? Could it be you followed in with the wrong group of people? It appears to me like a group that it appears to me like a group that has nothing to hold them together. Or maybe some of them do. Takes a moment and kind of like looks you over. I think I think that staying with that group is only going to drag you down. Trevor can't accept that perhaps he's never going to be the athlete he was. Rachel is flighty and obsessed with what other people think about her. And Wyatt, I don't think much of Wyatt. Sean will grow into it. He's been second fiddle for a long time. Stepped into the limelight. It's gone to his head a bit. That happens. He just needs to, I don't know, get used to it. Stop being such a dick. Kind of looks at him and goes, kid with some problems. No. Ubelair. No. They know some of the guys on the team, but no, they're not on it. Coach kind of stands up, walks over to like the um, there's like a little like water fountain thing on the thing of the office. Kind of fills up a cup, and then goes and sort of stands with his back towards the door. So he's kind of between you and outside of his office. And he goes, Blake, I think you're someone who's changed a lot in the last few weeks. You seem like you're someone who's had his eyes opened. Goes, goes, New Age? No, no, no. Nothing about me New Age at all. What you need to decide, do you want to be on the losing team? Or do you want to be on the winning team? And let me do this real quick. Choose best effect. Do this. Check dice are effect. Actually, that would also be. Damn it. Well, I guess technically, yeah, he can't do that. So he has a hell of an effect, but his uh, he's only got a D4 effect. Shit, I fucked that up. Check dice or total. Choose best total. Let me switch that. But yeah, the three is from his office. You have his D10 on a mission, his D10 with Blake, and his D10 authority. Um, or their power. Um, okay, so 21, but it's a D4 effect. He goes. So if you want to be on the winning team, you should realize is that there's a lot more power coming down the pipe, and you are currently on the wrong side of it. I'll remove dice. So he's got a 21 with a D4 effect, which every 5 above it can raise up that effect. Oh, by the way, on Wednesday I think it is, the actual Cortex Prime book is coming out, and like the preview so far is gorgeous. So basically, what it should do is take the stuff that we've been using, but then explain it all for people who haven't played like all 3 of the other like flavors of Cortex. Mm-hmm. It would actually bring all of you in. That remember. Yeah, that's the same thing that happened with Maureen. But you're all in kind of the same building. Like you're far away in the fact that you're all in the school campus, which is big, but you're all local enough. Yeah. Yeah. Though you will probably get at least some stress in the Smallville section. Um, if you want to defend against, if the stab is your defense against him, I'd still make that roll to see how much he shakes you, or if he doesn't at all. You can use it right now. You can use it to spend another. Like there's a thing on plot points. So you can add more dice, like roll another trait. You can also include more dice in the total. You can create a push die, which is like a D6 asset that is useful. Um, I mean, create a D6 relationship if you need to, but that you should already have. Except for the ones if you want to add more to the results that you can do after. But if you want to either create a D6 asset to help out, or if you want to throw in another trait, like another distinction or something. Okay. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, some of the ones are like you can re-roll if you. Oh, it shouldn't have been the exact same thing. Oh no no no! I don't think I think you may have to click them for roll all dice. Oh, did you just roll a few? Yeah, I think you had a 5, and 5, and a 2. Oh, okay, yeah, that will happen at least a little bit. So that can be 15 if you want to spend a plot point to use that, which will turn it into a D6. If you don't, that'd be what 10. It would turn that into a D8, probably afraid. Yeah. I also remember since this is going to pop us out, I might take the D8 afraid because it's in certain respects that doesn't follow you into the Sentinel comics. There you are a lot more powerful. It'll just sort of still be there when you come out, and then that's kind of free growth pool. Okay, I was gonna go ahead, give yourself the D8 D8 afraid. Okay, all right, yeah. So at that point, there's a like the whole world seems to ripple and change, and this happens to all the rest of you too. As you are in in class or wherever you're at, just everything sort of ripples and changes. This time you're aware of what's happening as opposed to last time where it was just strange. Everything's suddenly different, and you are back in the hedge. This one suddenly the school itself looks kind of reminiscent of the school, except that the if you're in classrooms they look kind of the same. But where everyone, let me know where you're at. Yeah, but what about for everybody else? Lunch break could be interesting because you might have more than one lunch. You probably have more than one lunch. Yeah, so suddenly it's just okay with the candlestick. Okay, coach's office. We'll say at lunch as well. And so the following things will happen. One, like you kind of hear from Maureen. I'm like, I don't know who activated that. This like everyone's like a little earpiece type thing. I don't know who activated that, but someone must have been in trouble. Uh, is everyone on channel? Is it Rachel? Just that way we can all keep in touch with each other. What happened? Well, so yeah, suddenly, like, so the coach isn't there, and you've gone into his thing. So at this point, you're in what looks like his office, but everything now, you're in inside of his school of hard knocks, which it looks a little like the school that you've been at, but everything's a little more prisony. Like the rooms themselves look alike, but there are like bars on the window. It has those sort of bigger open spaces, places where like guards and such would be able to see. So yeah, the coach's office, and you sort of look out, you see these shadowy looking like underclassmen in the locker room, kind of going through the motions of getting dressed. You like most of it's shadow. You can't quite see like clothing or anything else on them. And the lunchroom is kind of all like this as well right now. Oh yeah, yeah. Everything sort of like alters and changes. There's a lot less books in here now. It looks like it's fallen into disrepair. And you like you see the teacher is the librarian is kind of a twisted version of herself, and she's kind of like watching the computer screen and just sort of like smiling and chuckling to herself. Well, Marine just goes, if if someone who's a persona user pops in around you, you will be brought in as well. As far as I know, the Fae are not able to do that. Um, yeah. Okay, you tap it back. Yeah. I think you also saw it while you were in the thing the first time. I have a thing. We'll CGI it in later. Yeah, yeah. Maureen goes. It can affect someone who's not. Like it. Yeah, I can say, hey guys, that dude's a vampire. You know how I know? I staked him in the heart and he died. Yeah, that works. That works with people too. Oh shit. Dan, that would have been so much funnier if the combat thing happened and then like you forgot. Like, oh wait, put me out, put me out. No, it's cool, it's fine. Oh yeah. Listen, it happens through just practice and getting better. So I expect you not to fuck up next time. Yeah, Maureen goes. They're gonna generally avoid you. I mean, everything here knows that you're different, but you're also, unless something in the coach starts to send them against you. Because remember they don't tend to have perfect knowledge of anything happening here until you get into his inner self. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you go pick up Rachel first. Okay. Yeah. And then soon all of you are in the library. Maureen is actually not there. Like she's kind of gone into like her sort of mothership thing that she's right now up above it, and she's gonna hack into the network of the school. So at this point, you should have hero points left over from last time. Yeah, on your character sheet. Yep. So what you're gonna want to do is decide right now. Do you want those to be like one plus four, a plus three, and a plus one, two plus twos? Like you split those up and make a note of how you're going to be using those. And you don't have to say what it is, but it could just be I'm just going to have one big plus four, or I'm going to have a couple plus ones I can use, maybe a plus two in there, like a plus three and a plus one. Yeah. I'm going to cannon the shit out of some people. Okay. Yeah, they teleport into the library. Oh, also your persona. And Spring Hill Jack goes. Yeah, that's yeah. I'm just picturing the Babadook mixed with Tasmanian Devil for some reason. Yep, there's one on the desktop. 'Cause, yeah, up on the upper left we've got everybody's persona of Roll20. Oh, everyone should be. Oh yes, go to Untitled. Oh, okay. Oh, so it doesn't matter where I move the thing. Okay, good to know. Yeah, yeah. Maureen's is right next to her. Ugh. I think if I'm recalling, that's a character from BattleCon. Or it might not be. Oh, do you all see GM layer stuff? Basically, on the right hand side, do you? Okay. Oh, yep. Okay. Oh, is that from an actual thing? Okay. Oh, nice. Because yeah, I looked for I looked for like creepy baseball things, and that's the stuff. And is this a tabletop role playing game or is this a? Huh. Cool. And OFF? Yeah, actually, not a bad idea. Oh yeah, just cool. Found it. All right. I will. I will as well. Very French. Hmm. Off has been praised for its story, characters, and atmosphere. Memorable, haunting RPG full of tricky puzzles, bizarre symbolism, and challenging thematic elements. Mm-hmm. Moon Logic. Oh, that. Yeah, that's nothing compared to old text adventures. Like, I don't know if I don't know if you ever saw what you had to do for to get the Babelfish in Hitchhiker's Guide. It's got something like 27 steps, and they're all. It's like you have to like spill some water, drop a broom, put this thing, hit a vending machine, like all of this stuff, so that a robot comes out, slips in the water, trips over the broom, like hits the vending machine, drops this thing, which does something else, which then gets you the Babelfish. Okay. Yeah, she's like, oh shit. Comes through the headphones. She goes, okay, I've caught into the camera feeds. Well, you're in the School of Hard Knocks. This is how Coach sees himself here in the school, so that's good to know. Um, it looks like we have. What the hell are they doing? So we've got a couple rooms where they've caged like, the geeks, the preps, and the burnouts in three different areas, and what they're doing is looks like they're transforming them into something. Like, I don't know if he's using it to create more soldiers, but it's only a matter of time before they realize the building itself realizes you're here. Who? Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, whoever's got at least a D8 with him, once you reach kind of his inner sanctum in this area, you'll then be able to um, uh, essentially access him. Yeah. Yeah. What? Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, Trevor would probably have the same. I mean, Trevor, do you have one? Oh yeah. It's that weird thing that the person who probably should have the highest one with coach doesn't. Yeah, she's like. Well, actually, in some respects, Maureen can tell you that. Um, okay, there is. So the place around here, there's the school locker room. The only problem is if right now with the people who are getting turned in here, those seem to be not sticking around. I think he's building up a small army. So you're probably going to cut off some of that before having to face him specifically. Remember, as far as everything, like, just like before, everything in here, as far as like this world is considered, they're real. This is how he sees things, and this is him like converting portions of the school. And it's one of those things. If you let people die, it's like the people we rescued in. Um, wait, was that the old campaign, or did you rescue people in the? Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's like, remember the people that you rescue in here strengthen this world against him. Yeah, she goes. The places are there's three different places in the school. She goes and looking through the camera systems. So we have. Um, I don't think anybody was actually in the lunchroom, were they? Okay. They'll go. So in the lunchroom, we've got the preps. In the shop, we've got the burnouts, and in the chemistry lab, we've got the geeks. And they're all just being fed into these like weird infernal machines that are in there. She's actually it's pretty equidistant comparatively. Getting to any of those is going to not take you a particularly long time. The school looks different. It's smaller in some ways, bigger in others. Yeah, the preps. Okay. You kind of. Are you bursting literal holes, or are you teleporting through? I can show you the world. Is anyone playing the Final Fantasy VII remaster? I've started on it. I okay. Yeah. So as you as you pop up there, basically like right next to the chemistry lab, um, and inside of it you've got these sort of shadowy figures that you've got like this large, all these shadows that are surrounding this like big cage that the geeks are kind of being pulled up, and there's like this equation that they all seem to be working on the board, and it's like it's a thing that has completely pulled them in, and they're almost not even really kind of realizing as they're being pulled away one by one and put into this sort of machine, and you'll hear them like X over Q plus 27 equal to, and then as they go through, you see their bodies start to alter. Well, yeah. And so as it's happening, yeah, as you come in, one of the shadows like looks goes, and the few of the shadows actually burst, kind of into go from shadows to something that is much more real. So let's do. Do this for now. All right, so at this point, you have. Let me get the turn tracker up. So there'll be a couple things. There will be these minions that are fighting you. There might be other ones show up. You never know. Um, but they'll also be trying to save the save the geeks that are being thrown into it, and to a large degree, let me move all turns, clear, and add turns. So, who is going first? Yeah, you see, one of them, like a couple of them, like several of them, turn into these just like shadowy, faceless baseball players, and another one that's a bit bigger, like the face splits open from it, and as it sort of starts to come into its own as an entity, like drops into this lizard-like thing. And each of these three represents like a group of three. They're 1d8 each. Yeah, actually, it's not a single. They're basically small things of mooks, and then there's just the one. Um, I'm gonna put LT because I do not know how to spell lieutenant because that's a weird fucking word. Like lieutenant does not look like what you'd think. Yeah, it's something weird, and maybe it's French. I don't know. Fuck the French. Okay, okay. Yeah, so all of that appears. So we'll start with since you were the ones that showed up there first, you will get to decide what is it. Who wants to go first? What are you doing? Are you attacking someone in particular? Okay. Yeah, and there's only one lieutenant. He has a 2d10. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're gonna attack with mid, and then okay. Um, as it has been just a little bit. Let me remind myself. I think I put it in here because minions do work. Oh shit! Where did I have the minion rules? Did I have a cheat sheet that I created? Well, I think lieutenants don't even get reduced. Um, yeah, let me just pop up a thing on here. Hit playing the game. Just because it has been a little bit. Yep, if they don't match or exceed the die damage, yeah, if they don't match or exceed it, it degrades one step. So, it has to roll just a one for the damage. And how much did you hinder him with? Okay, so the hinder will be a -1. And how does it's the cold that hinders him? And is that a permanent or? All right. If you want to put like ice, if you just want to make that a mark in the one underneath the lieutenant, as you slap him with, as it sort of starts to appear around him, the cold does not seem to be bothering him, even though he is lizardy. So the thing is you did 1 point of damage. So the damage you do is just the straight up whatever it was. So how much damage did you do to him? What does your attack say? Oh wait, hello. Oh, did I? Hello. Oh, yeah. I was not able to hear you for a bit. I think something happened with the sound. Can you can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Yeah, my sound stuff just screws up every once in a while. Um, I don't know if it was a driver or something, but I've been having problems with sound. Um, yeah. What is your actual what does your attack say? So a two. Okay. Yeah. He's got yeah he's able to get one above that, so it doesn't actually take him down. Oh, I'm sorry. Lieutenant should just be a single die, not two die. Yeah, the minions are multiples. That's why they that should only be three. All right. Who do you want to pass initiative on to? And you're Marzana. Okay. Okay. It as the stuff kind of pops around around it, and it slashes you for actually zero because you hindered it for one, which will actually mean that goes away. It was just kind of kept him enough that he couldn't quite break out of it in time to get you. Um, he is going to pass it to one of the baseball players. Um, one of the groups of baseball players, what they are going to do is for each of these D8s, I'm going to go from what I see, because the other three of you, first Colton, then Dylan, then Dan, they're going to be doing a hinder. Oh shit! So that what that means is Colton actually for all three of you. That's what six, a five, and a five. Both of yeah. Um, they basically kind of like pop up baseballs and they crack them really hard at you, and they're not like hitting for like a ton of damage, but what they are doing is throwing minus twos on a minus two hinder because of the baseball barrage. And then they'll go ahead and pass it on to Ariel. Actually, Okay. Okay. Yep. Well, no, it's a 5, a 4, and a 1. What is your thing? And then it's -2 from those. What does your thing say it does? So it oh, it's mid. So yeah, so you do 2 points of damage. 2 1. Okay, so you're gonna start doing some stuff to save the geeks after this. Yeah, and also one thing to keep in mind: the overcome stuff can also be like this is where some if you got like especially role playing oriented. What are those called? The things where you the principles because you can use like role playing like a stirring speech can start getting them taken up. If you have stuff with science or something along those lines, you could use that. Like it doesn't have to be straight up combat. That can be used for like your overcome roll can be other stuff as well. Okay. Oh yeah, and then the after you use the -2, it goes away. Okay, so it does mid to everybody, or do you use max die for? Okay. Um. All right. So. All right. As those ones like the fire kind of creeps along, like they're not taken out, but they do seem a little more sluggish than they were shortly before. And that takes the School of Hard Knocks' turn, the actual environment. So first thing that's going to happen. No, that's the only one left. Yep. Yeah, the school itself takes a turn. It's still in the green at this point. And then roll. It is going to. You can almost see like energy pouring uh, into the area, and two back, and it boosts your opponents, and it We'll turn it over to the baseball players. Once again, the same people that they tried to hinder. No, this is the new turn. Oh shit! Oh, I'm sorry. No, yeah, Spring Hill. I fucked up. I thought that was everybody. Spring Hill Jack. You could actually go before the school if you wanted. Okay, yeah. No, that goes to you, Spring Hill. I moved you up there accidentally. I grabbed the wrong one. No, no, it's the school. Well, the school just boosted the lieutenant and the baseball players, but it's you've got the geeks that are being taken into by all the different shadows into the machine. They're also like still like entranced by the equation. You have three baseball players and the lieutenant. You get to choose since you're the last person going in this round. You get to choose who to hand it off to. Yeah. So yeah, when you make the roll here, what you're using is because it has some DNA from Cortex, so you use the green, yellow, or red. The probably green in this case. Um, one of your powers, one of your qualities. Mm-hmm. Okay. So what is it? Does it say attack with attack? Just is it just attack, or do you use a certain die, or okay? Um, yes, and who is this against? Okay. So you attack. It'll be your mid die. So you hit for two. Okay. So in that case, that's not actually going to take him down. So the lieutenants, um, if they don't match or exceed, it goes down one. If it does, if they're ever dealt damage equal to greater than double the value of their die, they're immediately knocked out without rolling to save. So they stay as is uh, unless they can't roll above, and they start to degrade unless you do a ton. Yeah, he actually kind of like slams into the wall of that really hard, then drops like to the ground, and like the geeks who are sitting there, there's this moment of they kind of stop, and then they're heading straight back into it. Who do you wish to hand it over to? Yeah, it's yeah, for those things it'd be an overcome. Usually you'd be doing something to overcome to kind of like check off those marks to particularly help them. It's one of those things where um, if you want to do something like that and like say by slamming someone against it, using that as an overcome, it would then not be an attack. It would instead be the overcome. Like you can't double dip on those unless you have a power that lets you. Okay, so you pass on to lieutenant. Okay, yeah. So he on all fours scrambles out of the thing and he is rushing towards. Um, let's go with Kokabeel. Uh, it hits you for 8 points of damage as it kind of leaps up and his claws are rending in the air. Now I have more powers. All right, you now get to determine who goes next, since your power let them choose that. Mm-hmm. Are you? I would say, are you using? Oh no, I'm gonna get the wrong thing. Is that one of your principles? No, it doesn't. Yeah, yeah. I was looking at the. Yeah, I was looking at the yellow stuff for a moment, thinking, oh, yeah. So you're doing an overcome to attack the machine. All right, make your roll. Why did I just? Where is the physical version of this? Yeah, yeah. While he's doing that, you realize the word sabotage comes from people who would throw shoes into the loom. I would choose. Okay, let's take a look. Moderating. I need to cut a couple of these things out, or major twists, so that I have a. Um, yeah, let me just find real quick the. I'm looking like this actual book should be out in a couple weeks to Kickstarters. I'm looking forward to one that's all together and actually like better able to find things in it. Maybe this isn't playing the game. I also should probably just look and see where the hell I placed the actual physical starters. Here we go. Do me a favor. Roll yourself a d4. All right. As you're sort of attacking the machine, the whole floor itself shifts, and we are now in the yellow. As we move 2 spaces towards the end of the scene tracker. That is, however, and I think, oh yeah, I did this. I put little. You've done damage to the machine in order to. You've done damage to the machine in order to help save the geeks. They are all still working. It looks like there's still sort of the gaping hole and such. The next stuff that will be done to try to take care of it can't also be attacking it. But you've done the damage. There's still places to throw them. You just don't know what happens when they get thrown in. They're not necessarily being changed now. Who are you passing off to? Well, because remember the other thing you can do doesn't necessarily be overcoming the machine. You could also be working like with the geeks. Like you could you could basically like try to scatter the shadows that are around them. You could work on trying to snap them out of whatever happened. It doesn't like this stuff can also be some of the role playing personal stuff. It doesn't have to necessarily be combat stuff. Like I said, that one you can't do because it's already been hit. Partly because if it's just we go in and hit it, then that it becomes uninteresting to have multiple stuff because you're just doing the same stuff. This also does allow you to use some of your principles that are more role playing based, since there is stuff like that in the persona, but you just don't have as many opportunities to do that. Mm-hmm. You're Kokopil or Spring Hill Jack? Okay. Nice. Yep. Yeah, well, too, like, this is an insolvable equation as you're looking at it, but yes, the whispers start to happen, and they're giving you some ideas. So with that 6, um, yeah, that 6 gives you action succeeds with a minor twist. Did you want to use your boost or the? Okay. Um, as you go up and actually like go through and make the changes to it, like they kind of stop for a moment as you just you sort of like Goodwill Hunting it. And as you finish, like all the geeks kind of take a moment. They just kind of look at each other and just as one. Oh, like they have seen how to do it. They're not completely broken free of the coach's power yet, but you see them starting to shake off the shackles that had been placed upon them. Who are you giving the turn to? All right. The School of Hard Knocks, the first thing that happens, we get one more towards the red. The school rolls its dice. Oh, shoot. Wait. Okay, I've got to put the pluses or plus a 9, a 4, and a 1. Um, the claxons start to blare. Um, so as the claxons start to blare, there's a alert in chemistry lab, alert in chemistry lab, and you see hauling ass in from outside. 4 baseball players start to rush their way into the room. Nice. No, you just attack a target. They they come in as a group. Yeah. All right. Tell me what you do to the one that you take out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just sort of collapses into a bloody heap. Um, I think the school is gonna hand it off to Spring Hill Jack. Wait, to have a sound problem again. Hello. Oh, okay. So Jack, what do you do? Had you used it before? No, no, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's gone. Okay, well. Let me double check. Very possible. Yeah. Um, Boost Hinder. Whenever you create such a give thing, keep track, write it down on a note card. It applies to the effect die rolled on a later die roll, either adding or subtracting from the result. You as the creator of the mod decide who uses the bonus or penalty as long as it makes sense. Um, yeah, usually the mods go after one use. Um, yeah, so if you use the same die, then that's the same one for everybody. Generally, um, applies to the effect die rolled on a later die roll, either adding to or subtracting from the result. You as the creator decide who uses the bonus or penalty. Um, creates. Let's check for bonuses real quick. Against it. Because yeah, I'm thinking I'm remembering something along those lines as well. Um, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, that one brought it down. So then 5 points. 5 points to all of the. Okay. So I will roll. Which it had a D. It had a D8. So it had been 16 points. Oh, let me double check. Back to, or was that in here? No, it's double the value of their. No, it's double the value of their die. Yeah, otherwise, it would be not unusual to take them out since it's such a swingy roll. Yeah, so basically, yeah, that just rips. Jack just rips through. At this point, leaving not a lot of people left standing. Who do you pass that off to? Base, baseball players in Marzana. Okay, yeah, and if you look, what I've done is I put a turn tracker there that everything below it are the ones who haven't gone. If you look at the turn order, um, So I will say on this one, I'm gonna have the healthier baseball players are going to be attacking Jack for 6, and the other ones are going to boost the lieutenant as they are helping him out with 2. So that's going to be a +1. Technically a 3. Let's move that +1 over. As they kind of pop a couple baseballs into the lieutenant's orbit, and they're now floating around it as it's going, and that takes it down to Marzana. Like the shadowy people. Stay alive, stay alive. Mm-hmm. All right. Make your overcome roll. Mm-hmm. No. Oh. Oh, that is rough. So are you failing? Or are you looking for like a major twist, or unless you got something that lets you do like a reroll? Okay. So 4, and I just want to double check another thing real quick. For because yeah, I'm thinking like if there's like a scene in between, like a little montage scene. I think that's where you bring your health back up to the one below it. So you want to do the minor twist? Okay. Um, I apologize for what I'm about to do to you. Take damage equal to your mid die while you overstrain yourself for 1 point. Okay. Yeah, you take 5 points. All right, Marzana, who do you pass it off to? It's the what? Oh yeah, and actually, yeah, you succeeded with the twist. So as you do it, like it actually like the light scatters the all the shadows. So suddenly the geeks kind of like as they're breaking out of it, they give up a cheer. Huzzah! Probably just clean up the last few. What is the name of the geeky person in Persona 5? I'm blanking on her name. Futaba. Let's dance. Oh, so yeah, that knocks off bonuses. Nice. Let me check your thing real quick. I'll just check on somebody's. We need Trevor right here. So, did you click the environment status? Okay. I'm going to try something with Trevor real quick. Um, and so this should be D10, D8, D8. Okay. Let me try this. So I thought, huh? Um, I thought at one point that worked. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try one more real quick thing for you, Trevor, just to see. Um, nope, that didn't even make a difference when I lowered your health. Huh. Okay. Yeah, I have no idea how to fix that, or well, I don't know the programming stuff. That is a shame. Okay. So it takes away his plus one. All right. Now to let you know, I have placed a and Colton, you're Ariel, right? Okay. I have placed the free geeks. Oh, have a D8, and they you have a plus one hinder if you have the geeks do that. No, so now that the geeks are freed, like there is a free geeks, which is a something that you're able to use, and that gives it's a D8 that can be used for. It can do anything, but it gets a plus one when it's hindering. I believe so. Let me target. Oh, modified value of the die affects all those target. Yeah, so it is the single modified. Single. Oh, a single mod can only affect one. Oh, that's they use mod for that here. Mod can only affect one die. Some give you an extra effect die. Can only affect one of them. Okay. So for now on, we know it only affects a single one. Um, no, yeah, there's. It just happened to be that happened to just pop up when I looked at targets. So yeah, what was? Okay. The, yeah, there are probably some that do that, but yeah. So yours is it just says attack multiple targets, not everyone in area. Okay. It's still in your heart. Don't lie. Lieutenant and the baseball players. No, no. So open up. No, are you meaning to attack or for turn order? Open up. If you open up the turn order, you'll see the list. The turn tracker, like Ariel's gone so far, and then it's turn tracker. Everyone below the turn tracker has not gone. And yeah, you're spring healed. Oh yeah, so I moved you up. So it's, yeah, everyone except for you and Ariel has is still able to go. So who are you actually attacking? Okay. 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 No, your mid die is a 6. Oh, min. Okay. Actually, let me roll this. Well, actually, it wouldn't matter because the baseballs were at 1d4 anyway, so they'll go down. But you did 2. What did I roll for? Yeah, so that actually is not going to affect the lieutenant. They'll. Damn. That's also one, especially as you start to see how your powers start to work together. You can kind of be like, oh hey, someone give me a boost, so then I can heal. Like I can throw a heal down and then do this kind of stuff. But yeah, that's sort of the that Sentinels of the Multiverse. Let's see how our powers start to work together. All right, so it sounds like you're handing it off to Marzana. Form of a bucket of water. So you said you hit it with what? Yeah, yeah. As it strikes the bowling ball, hits it. It flies into the machine and like down into the depths underneath it. And there's a quiet kind of enters the room, and then all the geeks are just like, "Yeah, that was amazing! I can't believe all of it." And one of them's like, just like in front of, I think Ariel solved the riddle. No, who solved the Crocodile? Yeah, they kind of in front of Trevor. They kind of fall on their knees, like, "You solved the equation." I didn't trust you could do that. Oh, she goes, what do you mean by jump around?
I mean, like, Wyatt has to run a lively place, but I just stand there and scream like Jack just does everything. I wouldn't even know what I'm supposed to do.
Just different ways that different people's personas interact with them. I have no idea. I mean, mine is a sniper that's kind of outside of me. That's actually much better off. Uh, can do a lot more from a helping position.
Okay. Alright. Well, yeah, I guess next the chemistry lab, the lunchroom, and
The shop.
the shops. Shop. Workshop. Okay. Um, I think okay, like Elijah's already leaving, going towards the where do people actually want to go out of character? Before I make I don't know. Burnout? It's preps, right? It's preps for jobs left. There's preps and burnouts. Oh, preps and burnouts.
Yep.
Okay, burnout.
And I'll say, everyone go ahead, recover up to your next level. Like normally it would be like bigger scenes in between you, but normally in the regular game, the nature of how we're doing it means its time is compressed because you're moving like straight to the next thing all the time. Kind of, there's not like a day in between by nature of what we're doing. So it's when you have like a few minutes to talk or rest in between, you'll do that.
So how it works is you go to the max of what you're in, or you go to the max of the next level.
Um, to the maximum of the next level up.
Okay, so
Yeah,
if you're in yellow, you go back to the.
yeah. For red, yeah, red to maximum value of yellow.
And environment's still in yellow, or is that just for that scene?
That was just for that scene.
Okay, that's good. And everyone, Mark, we did get one hero point because I overcame with the principal. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Eh,
Thank you very much. This is a new issue, right? Yes. All right. So the burnouts are shop glass. So yeah, why it's just like all right, next one. It just like is skating out already, like hovering above the ground a little bit, like just
Also, are we okay calling it here for tonight? Because I know I'm starting to flag a little bit just
oh
from
yeah.
lack of sleep.
I understand.
Yeah. So I think we can go to the. We can probably